everybody. Welcome back. What's up, people? Welcome back to another delicious cooking demo here on the Everything Vegan channel. My name is Ed Harris. I am your host. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. We have a juicy, delicious caramelization of ingredients for you today. I'm really excited. This is one of the things that I do with, I would say, 90% of the meals, dishes, sauces that I make. I have to caramelize my onions, my garlic, my ginger, these kind of things, chilies. So today I just wanted to show you the right way to do this to really maximize flavor, right? But also technique, right? Because it's one thing to say you're caramelizing onions and they're not really caramelized, right? And what really is caramelization of onions or anything like that when it comes to aromatics, right? And sugar is something that's super important when it comes to caramelization, all right? And it's something that you should think about, okay? And onions and garlic have actually a good bit of natural sugar in them. That's why they burn so quickly. And burnt onions and garlic is not caramelization, all right? That's a lot of people might not know that, but when you add your onions and garlic, your aromatics to a hot pan and it gets color immediately, it's starting to burn. All right. You need to do this as a slow and gradual process. This way, you slowly bring out the sugars and you slowly caramelize your aromatics. All right. There's a big difference in flavor, in texture, and in color. All right. You can cook onions and have them be patches of black, a little bit translucent, a little bit golden, amber, and all of that. Or you can just do really beautifully caramelized onions and have them all be one beautiful color. So that's the idea that we're doing today. All right. So let me go get my chilies out of the freezer and I'll tell you why my chilies are in the freezer. The reason my chilies are in the freezer is because I grow these every year, all right, during the summer, during the spring and fall. And we plant about, I'd say maybe 4 pots, and we get a ton of chilies, and they last us throughout the whole year. So we never really have to buy spicy chilies. And I always have in my freezer. So thanks to my mom, she showed me. And so we pick them. We have like, at some point, we'll have like 20, 30 Scotch bonnets. I'll just put them into a Ziploc bag right into my freezer and we're good to go. All right. So this recipe, this demo is super simple, really quick, really easy. All right. Caramelizing onions, garlic, and chili. That's it. And this combination right here, once it's done, you can use this to make sauces. You can use it to add to your stir fry. You can use it to add to your salads. Like it amps up the flavor of whatever it is that you're making to a whole other level. All right. So let's mince this baby up. All right. So first things first, we're gonna get our onion, and we want to be very careful when you're cutting an onion. All right, because obviously it's not flat. All right, and we want to make sure that whatever we're cutting is flat. One, our cutting board is fully secure, it's not sliding all over the place, so there's paper towels on the bottom. All right, and your onion, you want to get it into a position or a state where it's not rolling around on your cutting board, right? So I'm going to get off this initial layer really quickly so I can put it onto my cutting board, and then we're going to cut into it. All right. Alrighty, we still have a little bit left on there. So the best way to do this is to just cut it straight down in half. All right, you have everything still connected, so this keeps your onion intact. All right, you never want to slice off this piece right here. The minute you do that, your onion is going to start falling apart and falling all over the place, and we don't want that. All right, so we can slice off this bottom right here, and then we can peel this outer layer. All right, now you can keep these, roast them, use them for stock, broths, or you can even turn them into food for your plants. All right, totally up to you. All right, now we have our onion. Some people will just go this way and slice up, and then go this way, and then go this way. There are many ways to skin something. All right, so Since we're caramelizing these and we don't need to have perfect cuts, but we do need to have cuts that are similar in shape because that will allow everything to caramelize very quickly and easily. All right. And evenly. That's the most important part. Caramelizing evenly. I don't like going this way. So for me, I just go, and if you notice, I'm not going all the way to the back here because I want the onion to keep tight. So when I'm slicing, it's not falling apart. All right. And then I'll take care of that back end once I get to it. And it does help to have a sharp knife. All right. Jane, can you actually, I got it. A slicer works great for slicing knives, for slicing knives. A slicer works great for slicing onions. So you can totally go whichever route you want, but it's super important to, right? See what I'm saying? So you have all of this, right? You put this to the side. Now with this piece that we have left here, how do you get this minced? All right. Some people just keep slicing and then turn it over. All right. This is the part that will not be perfect, right? So it's okay. So you keep this separately and you slice it up thinly as much as possible, right? You turn it over, you finish the slicing, and then this is the part that you kind of have to beat up with your knife. You know, you don't get the perfect slices, but at least you have the opportunity for that initial slice to still be really thin. All right, I'm gonna turn on my oil to get hot while we finish slicing these up. Okay, so rough chop, and if you didn't do too good of a job the initial cut, then you can just run your knife over it really quickly like this. All right, make sure you don't cry, make sure you don't shed any tears because we're cutting a lot of onions. All right, and this is a pretty big onion, so you don't have to do all of it, but a large onion is great. All right, so we have that to the side here because remember, this is a lot of water as well. All right, so this is going to reduce, not as much, but we're gonna go with maybe a little more than half is gonna be left over. All right, now for our garlic. Best way to peel a garlic, especially if you're gonna mince it, I just crush it, right, like that, and then it'll kind of fall apart on you, and you're able to just get the pieces you want out of there, right? So we're going with a nice half. These are a little smaller, so we're gonna do 2, 4, 6. I love garlic. 7, 8, and it's good for you. All right, I'm gonna put my slicing knife down, and I'm gonna bring back my big boy because the next step is super important, right? Since we're gonna be mincing these, this is the best and quickest way to get through your garlic. Put your knife down, make sure it's flat, and one smash. Shell comes off, you have garlic peeled. All right, put that to the side, same thing, and you just keep going. All right, super easy. Now we can just peel these, and it's like a cakewalk. You know what I mean? Oil is hot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add my onions while I mince everything else up. And I'm going to just turn that down a little. All right? Because the idea here is to not get the onions to burn. All right? And soon as you put them in, if you see them getting dark or getting brown, all you got to do is give it a little toss. All right? That will help cool it down. That will help cool it down and kind of reduce that rapid burning that would happen. All right. So we're going to just let that go while I add the rest of the onions and finish the garlic and chilies. All right. Now, when you're caramelizing, you want to make sure you have enough oil in here. So I'm going to just add just a touch more. smells a lot. But the good thing is, what's in here is all flavor, right? Even the oil. So after this caramelizes, if there's more oil than you want in your pan, just use that oil, put it away. You can use it to saute some vegetables tomorrow. You can use it to make your breakfast in the morning. It's gonna be massive flavor in that oil. So it's okay if you put too much oil in your pan when you are making this. Trust me, you're gonna love the flavor of that oil when you try it. All right. So we have all of our garlic minced. Oh, you almost escaped here. Let's kind of clean up. I know you can't see it on camera, but I can, and it is bothering me. So nice and clean. Now I'll change this over here so you can actually see what's going on in, yes. All right, so you can see how that develops color. Where's my spoon? All right. So the idea here is to not have this on the burner super high. All right. If you're gonna have it high, you have to stay here and watch it. That's the thing. All right. But if you're not gonna be watching it every couple seconds, every couple minutes, then turn it down so it can cook gradually. This is the most important part, is making sure that it cooks gradually. All right. So I'm just cutting off the stubs of the garlic because it's not, it's like eating biting into a piece of wood. It's not the best. You ever bought like, what's it called? Black fungus mushrooms, the cloud ear mushrooms. Sometimes they come with pieces of wood because when they harvest them, they take them off of these, barks and, things like that. So you always got to take them out. Your garlic, you don't want it too big so it can cook evenly as well. All right, so just run your knife through this, and you see how quick I minced it? That was because the way we crushed it to peel it, it already broke it up into a bunch of pieces for us. So that just made this whole process super easy. All right, so our garlic is ready. Into the oil. And don't worry about if you didn't have everything ready and you're adding, like, you see how I'm doing right now? I just added the garlic in, you know, minutes later. Totally fine. That's gonna mix in with the onions and you won't even know that those were added later on. All right. So chili, I split it in half. I'm gonna use the whole thing because I like spicy. And we're just gonna do a nice fine julienne and then run over it again with the knife. All right. Almost. That's it. All right. Chilies are done. Right into our oil. And this is gonna start smelling real good real soon. Alrighty. So give this a stir. Crank up the heat, put it on high just for a second. And what I like to do is I like to get the pan, get the oil, get everything in here nice and hot. And once I see it starting to get a little dark, I turn it back down. All right. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So we cranked it up a little bit. So what I want to add to this, and for everyone checking out the channel for the first time, if you've been watching for a while, welcome back. But for the new people, let me tell you something. I'll upload a recipe or I might create a recipe, and then while we're doing the demo, I might decide to change something. And that's totally fine. And that's how you should cook too, because you cook with feeling. All right. So one thing I didn't remember to do when I created this initial recipe was to add bay leaves to this. All right. Bay leaves is another thing I buy in bulk and I put in the freezer. All right, because it's a great place to store it and keep it so it doesn't go bad. And the only reason it's in the freezer is because it's fresh bay leaves. All right. We were in St. Lucia for a month, and I bought like maybe this much bay leaves fresh, and I dried them outside myself, and I shipped them home. So I'm waiting for them to get here. All right. Like, yeah, if you can get fresh bay leaves, trust me, get fresh bay leaves, and then you're gonna see the difference because that dry stuff, it's sometimes it's so brittle, and then when you're trying to cook with it, it's like tiny pieces falling all over the place. You have to try and pick it out. But you see these, they're beautiful, they're big whole leaves, the best, the best. But you see the color, right, that we're developing. Nothing is burnt. There are no spots. There are no like really dark black spots. It's all this nice translucent color right now. And the longer this goes, it's going to develop flavor, the aroma, everything is just going to be like amazing. And that's what we want. And with this, you cook it like this, you put it into a jar, a mason jar, put it into your refrigerator, and you keep it, you can freeze it, but you take out a spoon or two of this and you add it to your stir fry, you add it to your steamed vegetables, you add it to whatever, literally. It's gonna just try it and then you can come back and tell me. By the way, since I have your attention now and you're here, tomorrow myself and one other chef on Kitch will be starting off the Munchie Madness, and we're doing sliders. So make sure you check out my channel right now so you can save your spot. All right, this will allow you to be notified when we start. It's gonna be 4 p.m. tomorrow. I'm doing two streams tomorrow, one at 4 and one at 8. All right, and the 4 o'clock is gonna be the sliders. 8 o'clock is gonna be hamburger helpers, I believe. All right, so really fun stuff. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you come join us because it's going to be a blast. I don't want to say what I'm doing yet, but trust me when I tell you, no one's going to be doing what I'm doing tomorrow. All right? But you see the color? Oh my goodness. I wish you could smell this. I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. So good. We can stop it right now here if we wanted because this is caramelized onions, right? This is caramelized garlic, onions, and chilies right now. Like the color is amazing. But we want it to go a little bit longer so it can get a little bit more amber in color, right? And you also want to remember that even though we turn this off the fire, it's going to still cook a little bit more from the carryover heat unless we take it out of this pan immediately and put it into a container. And even then, it's going to have a little bit of residual heat because of the hot oil and the aromatics. You know what I mean? But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we do caramelized onions and garlic, chilies, whatever it is that you're trying to caramelize. But this is the way to do it. I mean, look at this. Look how beautiful that looks. You know what I mean? Even color. Whew. I'm happy with this. And the crazy thing is, I'm fasting, so I can't even enjoy this right now. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it away because it'll work and it'll last and it'll be totally fine. And then I can enjoy it. All right. Imagine making a burger and putting some of this on your burger, right? Caramelized onions with aromatics. Bless you.
Sorry.
No worries. All right. The chilies are in the air, so it's making my wife sneeze. You know what I mean? But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are done. I'm gonna turn this off, right? And voila, we have beautiful, delicious caramelized onions. And you notice I didn't add any salt, I didn't add any black pepper. You don't need to add anything to this. Like this is all natural, develops flavor on its own by itself without you having to do anything. You know what I mean? So that's it. Short and sweet, right? Yes. So remember, see me tomorrow here at 4 p.m. We're going to be doing hamburgers, aka sliders. All right. And it's going to be delicioso. All right. So until next time, be well, eat well, and cook well. All right. This is Chef Ed. and I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to save your spot. Make sure to click on the follow button. And if there's something that you want to see me do, because, that's what I do, plant based food, then just send me a message right here or on social media. You know how to find me, Chef Ed Harris, everywhere. All right? Later, people.